No one tells you that you may feel more alone in your house than you have ever felt before, that you'll grieve the before even if you love the now. And because no one tells us that, we internalize it. We make it personal. We make it a failing, a problem. Hi there. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Parenthood and Relationship Podcast. I'm your host, Markella Kaplani, a psychologist, a parenthood and relationship coach, and a parent myself. Together, we explore the transformative journey of parenthood and its profound impact on our relationship with ourselves, our partners, and our children so that we can be present and show up as we envision without having to do more. Let's get into today's episode. Hello there, and welcome back to the Parenthood and Relationship Podcast. Today's episode is for the couple who became 3 or 4 or 5. And somewhere in that beautiful change, you stopped being us. Not intentionally, not dramatically, just quietly. This is an episode about what happens to that space in between two people when a child is born. Because parenthood doesn't just change you, it changes the container that your relationship lives in. So let's talk about how to keep it from leaking, how to repair the cracks, and how to rebuild a connection that doesn't just survive parenting, but is strengthened by it, the way you had envisioned. Let me start with a metaphor. Before you became parents, your relationship was like two people, two lives, sharing a space, filling each other's cups in turn. You had time to talk, time to breathe, time to touch without interruption. And then a baby came, and suddenly everything poured into one container. Sleep schedules, hormones, bottles, boobs, guilt, gratitude, rage, diapers, identity crises. And this led to forgotten intimacy, missed text replies, tiny golden moments that are lost, all of them pouring in. But here is the question that no one ever teaches us to ask. Was your container built to hold all of that? Was it flexible enough, sturdy enough? Was it ever repaired before this flood came? Because here is what I've learned in both my work and my life. Parenthood doesn't break couples. It reveals the strength or fragility of the container they were already using. So what does a broken container look like? Let's get specific. When a couple's emotional container is cracked, here is what I often see. The only conversations are about logistics. Eye contact becomes and feels a little bit awkward. Affection feels more like acting, like a performance. One partner appears to be very overloaded and loud, and the other one, on the other hand, is shut down and silent. Sex becomes non-existent or mechanical. Every interaction feels like one person is trying not to break and the other one is trying not to be blamed. In all of this, usually there's no blow-up, no betrayal. There's just leakage. Moments of tenderness that just slip through the cracks. Attempts at closeness that just evaporate before they land. A kind of resentment that starts to build over time, not because of any one thing, but because the vessel is no longer holding you both together. I want to make sure that we honor both perspectives here. Let's speak to the internal experience of a cracked container. For moms, you might feel like I am carrying everything, the plans, the emotions, the laundry, the mental load, the appointments, the grocery lists. And he wants to be applauded for just giving the baby a bath. You might feel like you're trying so hard to keep both of you going, but you're just exhausted. That you love him, but you feel like you're just parenting him too. For dads, you might feel like no matter what you do, nothing is enough. You might feel like, I miss her, but I feel like I'm walking on eggshells all the time. Maybe you feel like you don't even know where you fit in anymore, if you fit in. And here's the sad irony. You both think that you're the only one trying. And when you both feel like you're trying, but nothing is changing, inevitably you start to believe something even more painful. Maybe we just don't fit anymore. Maybe this just isn't working. Maybe the love is gone. But what if the problem isn't the people making up the relationship, but the container? Let's break down why the couple container often cracks in early parenthood. One of the culprits is that there is no shared map of the transition. We prepare for the baby, we pack the hospital bag and read books about sleep and child rearing, but no one gives us the language for the relational shift that's about to happen. No one tells us your identities will change and your partner may become unrecognizable. No one tells you that you may feel more alone in your house than you have ever felt before. That you'll grieve the before even if you love the now. And because no one tells us that, we internalize it. We make it personal. We make it a failing, a problem. The second culprit is nervous system mismatch. In many couples, one partner is overstimulated, irritated, and loud, while the other one is shut down, withdrawn, and frozen. One demands, "Talk to me," and the other one says, "I can't even think straight." One explodes and the other one retreats. But both feel abandoned. Not because they don't love each other, but because their nervous systems are speaking two different languages. Third culprit, unspoken beliefs that are running the show in the background. So here I'm referring to the scripts that we inherit without any question. Something like, if I don't do it, will it get done? I can't get it right, so I won't even try. She's better at this. He doesn't care. These beliefs become the walls of your container, rigid but brittle, full of unspoken rules and quiet punishments. So let's break this cycle with micro movements, the small, often overlooked actions that are more powerful than big conversations ever could be. None of these are fixes, but they are invitations. They work best when offered with openness, not urgency. Here are 3 that you can try together. For one, name the pattern, not the person. Instead of saying, "You never talk to me anymore," or "You always get defensive when I try to tell you something," you can try saying, "I think we're stuck in a loop where I chase and you retreat. I wonder if we both feel misunderstood, but just in different ways." Naming the cycle externalizes the problem. It says, you're not the enemy, the pattern is. This lowers defenses immediately, and it creates the emotional space to talk about what's really going on underneath, not just what's above the surface. Secondly, I highly recommend that you set a 10-minute connection window. Pick a time. Yes, I'm literally talking about setting a schedule where for 10 minutes, the only goal is to connect, not fix anything. You can share one thing that you appreciate about each other lately. You can talk about one moment that was hard and just listen to one another without solving. Ask, what is one thing that you wish I understood better right now? This is small enough to feel safe for the withdrawn partner and focused enough to feel meaningful to the pursuing one. One couple I worked with decided to place a sticky note on the coffee machine that said, 10 minutes of us before the world. It really clicked for them. Thirdly, when you're the one that is bringing something up, start with a regulating cue before the content. Reach for your partner's hand. Sit down beside them. Say, I'm not upset. I just want to share something from the heart. This matters because when your nervous system feels alert, nothing will get through. If you haven't listened to the previous 2 episodes, I highly recommend that you do, because that is where I break down why the advice that we hear left and right that we need to be having honest conversations skips a step. Because if our nervous systems are feeling threatened, nothing is registering. So it is extremely important that the first thing that you do before you say anything is that you lower the defenses, that you make your partner's nervous system feel safe. And that is why what I'm telling you now matters. When a person's nervous system feels unsafe, nothing will ever get through. But when it registers softness, it can receive instead of react. If you're the one who tends to shut down, try this. Say, I need a minute, rather than getting up and disappearing. Leave a short voice note if talking feels like too much. I care. I just need a little bit of time to process. Even these few words can change the dynamic. Remember, the goal isn't to change each other. It is to find ways to co-regulate together. This pattern, where one of you reaches and the other one retreats, may feel like the relationship is doomed, that something happened and it's ruined you. But what's really happening is that something vulnerable is trying to be protected on both sides. Now, while this is not the end, if unaddressed for a long time, it causes erosion. The pursuer inevitably burns out. The one that withdraws shuts down further. Intimacy becomes something that you used to have instead of something that you're still growing. And then, of course, your kids who are witnessing this dynamic are learning that emotional expression equals conflict, that hard conversations lead to disconnection, that love is something that you tiptoe around, not something that you walk toward. So while this may not feel like a priority, you're not just breaking patterns with your partner. You are rewiring the relational DNA of your entire family. And that is legacy work. If you're feeling like this episode sparked something in you, a recognition of the roles that you both fall into, or a desire to stop dancing the same old dance, I want you to know that's a powerful first step. Patterns can be broken, but not with blame. And if you're looking for a place to begin, a reset button if you wish, you can grab my Reconnect Roadmap, a simple, no-pressure guide for couples who want to increase intimacy, affection, and admiration, especially in the chaos of family life. It's free, and you can get it at markelakaplani.com/reconnect. And if you want to stay connected to this kind of work, to get weekly notes and reflections and tools, then sign up to the Sunday Reconnect, my weekly newsletter, where I share one insight, one exclusive tool, and one 3-minute ritual to help your relationship feel less like a task and more like a home. Sign up at markelakaplani.com/newsletter. Until next time, may you choose courage over comfort and connection over protection. I'll talk to you soon. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.